Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about one of my most frequently asked questions. How do I balance my work, home, and school life? You know what? It's so crazy because it's definitely a process. I'm no expert in it. However, I do have a lot of practice, trying to figure everything out, and I still don't have it figured out, but I do have a system that helps me. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. So as people, we wear numerous hats. And what do I mean by that? We have several roles that we play in our life. And it's super important to find the balance between all of your different roles. Because if you don't, it will lead to feelings of guilt, lots of stress because of undivided attention that you're not giving one area or another in your life. It's so hard to find that balance. But it's just something that you have to do to be able to function in this in today's society, because we're not just going to work during our 8-hour shift or our 12-hour shift and come home and that's it. No, in my life, I play mommy, I play nurse, I play student, I play wife, I play daughter. There are numerous responsibilities that I have. So the first thing I say is you have to embrace it. You have to know that your situation does not change. You have to adapt. And we all want to be superwoman. Sometimes you just have to understand that the house is going to be a wreck. Dishes are going to have to be dirty. You might have to eat takeout. Your spouse or significant other might have to be the one to put the kids down. You're going to miss birthday parties, baby showers, after school activities for your kids, and that's just life. But to combat some of that, you have to learn how to prioritize your time. Keep your life organized and prioritize, and that's how I get through everything. So, first things first. You already know what I'm going to say. You already know it. And it's okay to say, what is with her in this planner? But trust me when I say it saves me tons. So, the thing that I would recommend is getting a planner, a family calendar that you can keep at home, and some type of calendar app for your phone. Now, granted, everybody has these high technology, up-to-date phones, iPhones, and whatever Samsung phone there is out now. And you should have like a calendar that you can sync with another person. But I'll get to that in a minute. So what are we going to do with this calendar planner app thing? Okay, so what I normally do is my calendar and my planner mirror each other. I plan out, the first thing I do is I write down all the important things that's going to happen in this month. And you know what? I actually do it for months in advance because I need to see my life at, I want to say like 8 weeks at a time, because that's how long my schedule is at work. Sometimes I even stretch it to 12 weeks because that's how long my terms are. So for about 3 months, I write down everything that's important. My work days, assignments that are due, exams, appointments like doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, not only for me but for my kids. If my husband has something important that he needs to do at work and I need to know that I can't work that day, or I can't work the day before, I put all of that down. So I put everything that I know is super important in one color on this planner, right? Then I go in with a different color and I write down other things that are important but not as much, so like a middle ground. And these are things like holidays, anniversaries, birthdays, or any other days that I consider important in my life. So then I go in with a different color, and this is the fun color. Okay, so what I like to do is then look at the holes in my schedule, and that way you can plan out activities where you can spend time with your family, or or get some me time. I tend to schedule things to be the day after an exam, so that way I won't try to cram. And that's one thing that you have to learn how to do. Don't try to plan things where you have to squeeze it in. Like, really and truly give yourself enough time, or give yourself the correct day to be able to enjoy the time that you're spending. for instance, in my life, I like to do a seasonal bucket list with my kids. So I take a certain season, I plan activities inspired by this season, and then I plan dates to spend time with my kids, because that was one of the things that I noticed about my life. I was spending so much time working and studying for school that I was not spending as much time with my kids as I would like to. So a lot of you might say, well, how? Didn't you say your kids are at home with you during the day? Yes, very true. But there's one thing to say that you are spending time with your kids and really spending time with your kids. Like literally, we were in the same room. And I would try to, interact with them and then trying to read at the same time, and it just didn't work out. So like I said, I created this bucket list. I actually got the idea from off of Pinterest. So what I do is, say for instance, let's go with summer. So in the summer bucket list, I might say, hey, this summer we're going to go to the aquarium. We're going to go to the zoo. We're going to go camping. We're going to go to a theme park. And things like that. So, and then I look at my schedule and I look at the holes and I plan those days in. I then look at days that I want to spend with just me and my spouse, and I plan those days. It might not even be that many. It might be 1 or 2 dates that month, but still it's time, and then of course you have to schedule in some me time. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. You've seen by my last video, I got so excited by just getting my eyebrows done. But anything that makes you feel good, pampered, relaxed, use that as some time that's for you. If you just want to go get a massage or veg out on the couch and watch YouTube videos all day, I don't know. Watch you can binge watch like Sex and the City or whatever it is that you like. Schedule that time for you, because you have to have that time. It helps with your mental space. Trust me. So now that you have your schedule planned out, make sure, like I said, your personal calendar that you take with you on the go could be your planner, mirrors this family calendar that you keep in your home. That way everybody's up to date on what's due, who's going where, what's going, just everybody's in tune with this schedule and everybody can plan around it. So why do you need the app on your phone? Because then you sync that app with your spouse or whoever your support person is. You sync that app with them, and special days that they might need to pick up the kids, or they might need to go to the grocery store that day, or they need to know that it's their turn to cook tonight, or different things like that. It lets them know that you have scheduled appointments on these days and who's going to take them. And then these phones are so high tech now that it sends you a reminder. So you never go wrong. These apps, I'm telling you, they're really essential to my life. Why? It keeps me organized, it maximizes my time, and it helps me prevent overlapping in my life. It's definitely essential to being productive and just functioning in my everyday life. Okay, so now that you have all this down, what's next? I tend to focus on activities or strategies that will help me maximize my time. I'm a firm believer that you can do everything, just not at the same time. So what do? I shop in bulk. That way it prevents me having to go to the grocery store as often. I meal prep, and I also cook in bulk. That way I'm not boggled down by trying to cook every single day. I have the meals pre-prepared, pre-cooked, and all I have to do is warm them up, because you can't live off of fast food alone. I mean, you probably could, but it's not going to be healthy, right? So meal prepping and cooking in bulk, trust me, it saves you a lot of time. Also planning your outfits and your kids' outfits out at the beginning of the week, or whatever day that you choose during the week. Iron everything, pre-set up everything. That takes a lot out on trying to figure out what they're gonna wear at night for the next day, or whatever it is that you have to do. Find one day that you can try to do, what is it that we call it in nursing, cluster care. Do everything while you have a chance, so that you don't have to worry about having to spend time doing it later, and it throws you off of your routine. Another thing that has been a lifesaver for me is I don't get to study as much like during the day or if I'm on the go. So what I do is I listen to my lectures in the car. So that's another positive for going to school online, because I'm allowed to listen to those lectures at any time that I choose. And majority of the time I listen when I'm in the car, mainly on the way to work or on the way home. You can choose to set up like a carpool type of thing. If your kids are in after school activities, you can get with other parents where you can kind of carpool. That cuts down on time that you have to spend shuffling your kids around here and there and doing things like that. And you can take the time to productively study or do whatever it is that you need to do. For me, that would be studying. Why? Because I don't get to study that much during the day. Like I said, I was trying to split my time between studying and paying attention to my kids, and it just wasn't very productive. So that brings me to my next thing in the list is sacrifices. You have to make sacrifices. I know that it's hard, but that's a part of life. You have to make sacrifices. And for me, sleep was my sacrifice. There was nothing else that I could shuffle around in my schedule that I already hadn't done, and I just went without sleep. And for some people, I know that that's hard, but you have to find the right time or the right sacrifice for you. Like I said, I would sacrifice sleep and stay up and study all night, get a couple hours of sleep, and then get up, and then I can say that I did study. And now I have time to spend with my kids or teach my kids or, do what it is that I need to do. A lot of you might not be able to stay up all night. You might need to go to sleep on time or a little bit earlier than what you've been doing and get up in the morning. You might not be a night person like me. I'm a night owl, but you might be a early bird. And you might have to get up maybe an hour earlier to fit in some study time. For all of you moms who have kids in, like I said, after school activities, they're normally an hour-long practice or 45 minutes to an hour. Take that time to study then. You can sit in your car or some other gems that I like, make to-do lists. I tend to make them every single week and I revise them every day. I don't know what it is. Something about scratching off something on a list it just makes me feel good. It makes me feel that I'm being productive in my life. So before I go, I know this video is like super duper long and I do apologize, but I do want to tell you, just remember that this lifestyle is not permanent. Eventually, you're going to reach the goal that you're trying to achieve. And then you can relax a little bit until you develop another goal that you want for yourself. And then you're going to have to adjust again. But it's not permanent. You can get through it. Just give yourself time. Next, I want to say, make sure you tell the people in your life how much you appreciate them and love them, because it's not only you that's going through this. They're going through it with you. They might not physically be putting in the long hours at work or going through the school, or be enrolled in school, but they're there with you because they're experiencing it with you. They're sacrificing things as well, and they bear the brunt of you not being there sometimes. So make sure you let them know that the situation is not permanent and you do appreciate them and you do love them. Next, you want to make sure that you learn how to say no. Okay, and that's just the plain and simple of it. You have to learn how to say no. Like I said, you can do everything, just not at the same time. And when you have a lot of people in your life, they pull at you from different areas and you can't be there. So you have to be able to discern what's most important and be able to say no. And it's not being mean. It's just what life is. It's not being mean. You just have to learn how to say no sometimes because you have other priorities. Because if you try to stretch yourself between two things that you can't adequately give yourself time for, you're not going to do your best in either area. So I would say learn how to say no to one thing, focus on another so that can be your best. Okay, last but not least, address the stress in your life. Okay, life can be really, really stressful and it takes a toll on you as a whole. It takes a toll on your life, and stress can come in many different forms. It can be physical, emotional, mental. You have to really assess eliminate, and readdress. Okay, so if you start to have physical symptoms like headaches or an upset stomach, body aches for no apparent reason, you can just be constantly annoyed, taking it out on your family members, you know, a constant agitation, or just plain old meanness. You know, it, like I said, it comes in many forms, and you have to be able to discern between it so that it doesn't, you don't allow it to take you to a very dark place in your life. So in a nutshell, what I do is assess, organize, eliminate, readdress, come up with another plan. That's how you do this. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, my plan is not perfect. I'm still coming up with other ways to help me. I hope I helped you, and if you have any ideas or thoughts or ways that you manage your life, put them down below. I'm always open for suggestions. Okay, if you have some burning question that you want me to answer, go ahead, send me a message. I'm always open. I can address it there, or I can address it here. If you are new to my channel, I just want to say welcome. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe. Click your notification bell so that you know when I do upload videos. If you have been with me since the beginning, I want to say thank you for tuning in again to yet another one of my crazy little videos. So until next time.